Hi, Ken Walls, CEO and founder of Client Solution Innovations. Welcome to DigiLEAD TV. I appreciate you being here. So this week's episode, we're going to keep it short. I want to talk about friends with benefits and how important it is to have friends with benefits. So we actually had a meeting, came up with what we were going to discuss in this week's episode, and I thought that's going to be edgy. That'll get people to click on it and watch this episode. But I do want to talk about how important it is to have a power base and have friends and have the benefits of having friends and all of the stuff that goes along with that in this episode on social media. I've got stories I could tell you about some clients I've had that have absolutely taken advantage of social media and used it to their advantage, and I can share some of that with you. But I do want to give you a quick rundown on what it's done to help me and my company. So we have multiple Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, and other social media. And one of the biggest things that I use is Periscope. And Periscope was purchased by Twitter, I don't know, within the last 3, 4, 5 months. They purchased, I think, for $85 million or something. In my opinion, they got a steal on that. But one of the things that I've benefited with building a following and fans and a lot of great people and friends on Periscope is, we have people come on my Periscope streams where we're talking about whatever. It doesn't even, I'm known for being quite the giver. I love to get on Periscope and do giveaways and share Grant Cardone's material and be able to send that out. By doing that, I'm flowing power to Grant, and Grant flows power back to me, and I'm helping people change their lives by giving away things like the 10X quote book, by giving away things like the 10X rule, the books that Grant Cardone's written, Sell or Be Sold, things like that. Today, as a matter of fact, I'm going to give away a Grant Cardone calendar that I tried to give away last night, and we just didn't hit the numbers to do it. Talking about the having the impact that social media can have in your business is absolutely insane. So, for us, we track what's going on with all of our social media. We look at how a post is performing and who's clicking like and who's sharing it and all of that stuff and the restreams and all of that from Periscope and things that we use. I have and I told this story before, but I'm going to tell it one more time. I have a buddy. He's a client of mine, has a law firm here in Columbus, Ohio. And years ago, he's like, I'm not doing Facebook. I'm like, dude, you got to do a Facebook page for your practice. And he's like, I'm not doing it. And long story short, I ended up putting one together for him. And that very night, I got a phone call from somebody that managed a medical practice, and she's like, look, we're looking for a new attorney right now. The one that we've been using hasn't been getting the job done, and et cetera, et cetera. And so she's like, who is this guy that you posted, and what's he about? And I said, he's a great guy. He's, he'll do a great job if you guys talk to him. And so that night he ended up getting a several $1,000 contract as a result of having his Facebook page up for less than a few hours. So, if you're not using social media, you are missing out on the absolute greatest thing that's happened in the history of advertising and marketing. If you look at, you spend, thousands of dollars or whatever on your website development, you spend all the time putting content together, getting your message out there, you do videos, you do this, you do graphics, you do all these things, and then you let it just sit there. Or you develop a Facebook page and you get, I've seen Facebook pages. I have another client here in town that's a humongous company that when he first hired us, he had, I think it was like 76 followers on his page. And it's almost $20 million a year company, and he had 76 followers on Facebook. And now he utilizes, because we did a like campaign, we helped him get a lot more likes. He's at 1,500 or 2,000 now. And now he utilizes that power, the power of social media. He utilizes the power of Facebook advertising. And we just discovered yesterday, we found out that we now have some additional tools available through Facebook ads that's unbelievable. You can, like with Facebook, we can literally target on a demographic level. We can do ads now that target people and their income levels, and whether or not they use coupons, and male, female, age. I mean, there's so many different ways that we can target people and customize the audience for people now on Facebook. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's just talking about Facebook. Then there's Twitter and the Instagram and there so many other things that you can use. What's the one, I see recipes posted all the time? Pinterest. There's Pinterest. I don't use Pinterest, but we probably should. But the power of social media is overwhelming to some people. Getting out there, putting your material out there, and letting the world know who you are. Grant talks a lot about getting out of obscurity. So many people still are not using Facebook, they're not using Twitter, and if they are using it, they're using it incorrectly. So I'm going to take a quick break, talk about that right when we get back. Thank you. Hey, welcome back to DigiLEAD TV. Ken Walls, CEO and founder of Client Solution Innovations. By the way, make sure you check us out on Facebook, on Twitter. Look for us, DigiLEAD TV, and our Twitter account for Client Solution Innovations is @CSI Tweet. Find me at CEO_CSI, and then all of our Facebook pages too. Check us out. Make sure you follow us and like our page, and we're going to deliver a lot of great content to you. And before I go any further, I want to give a big shout out and a congratulations to my client and friend Burton Brooks at Money Matchmaker Corporation. His wife Natasha works for Grant Cardone, and they just had their baby this morning. Want to say congratulations to you guys. That is awesome. Today is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm assuming y'all are watching this after Thanksgiving, so I hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. This episode is called Friends with Benefits, and I just want to talk about that because it's so important to make sure that you have social media for your business. It's important to make sure that you're using social media for your business and that you're using it right. Using social media properly, and there's literally millions of articles out there about etiquette and how to use it. There's a website that I've subscribed to their newsletters, and it's going to slip my mind now. That's like Kim Garst is on it. She's a contributor. She's huge in social media. What is the name of that? I'll think of it. We'll throw it up on the screen here. I'll remember it later and have them throw it into the screen. But there's it's social something. I forget what it's called. Anyway, we'll look it up and throw it up on the screen. But it's a great site. I get their emails all the time. That's why I can't believe it's slipping my mind. But they're awesome content in there. So, I get a lot of friend requests, and I get a lot of people on Twitter that follow me. And one of the, what I find to be really almost borderline unethical in some situations is I'll get a friend request, or somebody will follow me on Periscope, and then they look me up on Facebook or Twitter, and they'll send, and I accept just about everybody's friend request. But one thing not to do is to friend request somebody and then immediately go into instant messaging them and trying to sell them your product or service. That is, in my opinion, that's one of the most unprofessional ways to approach anybody when you're trying to sell a product or service. In fact, if that happens with me, I almost immediately go back in and block that person from being on Facebook with me or being on Twitter or anything else. Because look, if you don't have the professionalism and the professional courtesy to at least get to know me, I mean, let's go out to dinner first, right? I mean, come on, give me something here. Don't just like, hey, I'm gonna friend request you and then hard sell you my multi-level marketing thing. Or I had somebody yesterday ask me for money to help pay for a surgery and I don't even know this person. So I'm not saying that I'm not willing to help people, and I'm more than willing to help people. I'm a very charitable person, in fact. You know, I'm willing to help people in every way possible and really make a difference in the world. But man, you got to have a softer approach. You got to come to people and get to know them, get to know who they are, what they like, and you know, then introduce your product to them. Not just like, hey, I'm now friends with you on Facebook along with your 1,500 other people, and because we're friends and you accepted my friend request, I'm going to hard sell you. That's not the approach to take. That's not the approach to take. So if you're doing that right now, stop. It won't work. There's no way. And if it does work, it's only going to be somebody that's really lonely and has no other friends, and it's just not going to work out for you. So that's my personal opinion. You take it for what it's worth. So that's one way not to use social media. You know, another way is when you're doing posts. I mean, we try to do somewhere around 30 posts a day per Facebook page, and we do a lot of tweets too, and I do a lot of them myself. I'm getting better at it. You know, one thing I've learned from Mr. Cardone is, man, you gotta make some noise. You have got to make noise. And there's no other, unless you run door to door to, you know, 7 billion people, you're not going to be able to make the noise that social media can make for you. And people live in this mindset of, well, you know, there's so many people out there trying to make noise. What's the point? Well, the point is if you have a good product, if you have a good service, if you have something that people need and want, and you're not getting to enough of them, then if you just keep putting it out there, eventually somebody's going to see it. Eventually you're going to get the attention of the people you're looking for. And use that to augment all of the offline stuff that you're doing as well. If you're going door to door, if you're making the 150 or 200 phone calls a day, use social media on top of all that to augment your offline stuff that you're doing to make it even better and bigger. So, you know, use social media. Use Facebook for sure. I mean, Facebook, I should have printed off the numbers. I apologize. We're trying to make this a quick Thanksgiving episode. But you can Google the numbers. You can look up, you know, how many people use Facebook. In the United States, there's approximately, 370 million population, and around 290 million people use it in the U.S. That's just in the U.S. So that means that most of the adult population is on Facebook. And people that go, well, that's old school, nobody's using it, then you're old school, nobody's going to use you. You've got to stay with the times. You've got, one of the things that my hat is off to Steve Jobs and Apple, because like Steve Jobs was always, you know, hey, we got to stay ahead of the curve. We got to be innovative. We got to create something that nobody else is doing. We have to stay ahead of everybody else and be an innovator. You've got to do that. You have to do that. You have to use Facebook. You have to get out there and send out tweets. Send out 100 a day. Send out 50 a day. And don't make it all about your product and service. Make it fun. We like to put funny memes up that people like to look at and laugh about, and you know, make it about that. Make it about engaging your audience, having fun with your audience, making them laugh. So I know we're getting ready to take a break. I'm going to wrap this up after the break. I really, really appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate you following DigiLEAD TV. We're going to come back here in just a second and wrap this up. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back to DigiLEAD TV. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, staying with us on this. So I just got some socialmediaexaminer.com is where you want to go to follow, get some great content around social media and how it works and how you can utilize it to help your business. There's approximately 1.5 billion active users on Facebook every month. There's 4.5 billion likes per day on Facebook. So, you know, the importance of social media, using social media, and blasting social media nonstop. You know, one of the things Grant talks about is I want to put out so much content that people start unliking my page. They start unfriending me. They start, you know, blocking me from being in their stream anymore, because that means that you're getting attention. You're getting people's attention. You've got to do that. You've got to get people's attention. You've got to put out, intensely put out social media stuff. And when we were on break, I was talking about, hey, we need to really step up our game with our blog and putting that out on medium.com. If you're not writing articles on medium.com, get on medium.com. If you're not doing Periscope broadcasts and Meerkat broadcasts, you need to get in there and use these things and blow your business up. The only reason our business has exploded as much as it has here in the last 6 months is because we nonstop use social media. Nonstop are using Periscope and Twitter and Facebook and all of these things that are out there and available, and they're free. They're free for you to use. Now, if you want to do ads on Twitter, you want to do ads on Facebook, you want to do ads, you can do that and pay, and it's not that much money actually to do a Facebook ad. It's very inexpensive. It's very affordable. So, you know, all of these things are things that we help our clients do. We have multiple clients that we actually, because they just genuinely don't have the time, so we help them. We actually go in and we do the posts for them on their behalf every single day. We use a program called Hootsuite to kind of help us manage and put all that together and manage tons and tons of accounts through that. So look, there are a lot of things that you can be doing to blow up your business. You can use all of the friends that you have in a good way and have all of the benefits that come with all of that by having them recommending you to their friends and their family and the businesses that they know and everybody that is in your social network. So look, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, that you like our pages, watch for content that we're putting out. Appreciate everybody being here. Hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week here on DigiLEAD TV on GrantCardoneTV.com. Thanks for being here. Be awesome.